Naoto Watari is a high schooler whose life revolves around caring for his little sister Suzu following the death of their parents 2 years ago. Since then, they've moved from one relative's home to another, finally settling with their eccentric aunt Tamayo, a woman who rarely leaves her room, judges harshly, and owns a cat named Tsukikyo. Chapter 1 opens with a nostalgic scene. 10-year-old Naoto and a blonde girl share a wordless moment in a sunflower field. Years later, Naoto's high school life begins with classmates questioning why he isn't joining any clubs. He cites his responsibility to Suzu, though some joke creepily that he might be too close to her. Rumors Naoto shrugs off, used to people not understanding. His friend Tokui invites him to join an informal club, but Naoto again declines. Between his sister and maybe picking up a job, he is fully booked. Ishihara, the school's cool and kind waifu, appears and invites him to a committee meeting. He declines, but she sweetly offers to drop off the notes at his house. Their exchange feels like the kind of natural anime chemistry that sparks fan wars online. After dinner, Naoto's routine is interrupted by Tamayo, who insults him by comparing him to his dad and praises Suzu for taking after her mother. She hands him his allowance with birthday bonus and tells him to buy something nice for Suzu. Her snide laugh and cryptic comments about being the older brother make it clear she's got her own brand of passive-aggressive weirdness. Suzu asks Naoto to do her hair the next morning. He tells her she'll have to learn to manage things alone someday, but she's convinced he'll care for her forever, unless he dies like their parents. On the way to school, Naoto asks what she wants for her birthday. They agree to explore ideas after school, but Naoto gets a bad vibe and warns Suzu to go straight home later. At school, Naoto admires Ishihara but knows she's on another level. Tokui even shares a story about how she rejected the modeling gig because they didn't match her standards. Then Tokui mentions a new student, Satsuki Tachibana. The name sends chills down Naoto's spine. She's the girl from the sunflower field, the one who ruined his family's garden and disappeared 6 years ago. After school, Naoto is followed by Satsuki, who haunts him like a ghost. When he finally confronts her, he explodes, "What do you want, Garden Destroyer?" She confirms she remembers him and apologizes, not for the garden, but for stalking him all day. She says she has something important to tell him. He tells her off and runs, but she chases. Meanwhile, Suzu sees a family working in a garden and reminisces about the one they used to have. Naoto rushes in, grabs her and runs home, escaping the persistent Satsuki. Suzu, unfazed, tells him she wants a garden for her birthday. When Naoto says they don't have space, Tamayo offers the backyard but warns them it's an overgrown jungle. As they investigate the backyard, Satsuki appears again armed with a hoe, looking like a horror villain. Naoto moves to protect Suzu and asks Satsuki to back off. Instead, she lunges in and kisses Naoto. Suzu, Tamayo, and Ishihara witness the scene in horror. Naoto is so stunned, he blacks out and wakes up in bed. Tamayo warns him that turning her backyard into a dating hotspot will get him kicked out. Ishihara is wondering if she is Naoto's girlfriend after what she saw. Naoto apologizes for missing the committee meeting and says he won't make it to today's either. Ishihara doesn't mind admiring his devotion to Suzu. Satsuki interrupts without warning. She grabs Ishihara's chest to see what Naoto likes. Naoto grabs Ishihara and rushes to the roof for privacy, confronting Satsuki about her behavior. She's not sure which incident he's mad about, the kiss, the grab, or the garden destruction. She gives him the hoe from 6 years ago and shares a forgotten memory. They used to be close, but she destroyed the garden and vanished. Naoto asks why, but she dodges the answer and apologizes sincerely. Jokingly, she offers to repay him with her body, which sends Naoto into a panic. He scolds her, especially since the kiss upset Suzu, and demands an explanation. Satsuki, offended, says, "If you don't get why a girl kisses a guy, then it's hopeless," and leaves disappointed. Naoto feels like the villain, but really he's just lost in the chaos. Later he learns that Ishihara won't even look him in the eye, and he regrets the mess, especially since the chest grab wasn't even his fault. He then runs into Satsuki carrying Suzu, who has a scraped knee. Naoto overreacts, thinking she attacked Suzu, and threatens her with a hoe. Suzu clears it up, she just tripped. Suzu invites Satsuki to help with the garden, and on their way back, Satsuki says she'll be a big help, even though she's never gardened before. Oddly, she claims the yard used to be hers. Both siblings are confused. The next day, Ishihara invites Naoto to shop for committee supplies. Suzu is disappointed. She thought they'd garden together. Luckily, Satsuki offers to help Suzu so Naoto can go. At the mall, Ishihara asks if Naoto is dating Satsuki. He denies it and nearly confesses he likes Ishihara, but chickens out. When Suzu and Satsuki arrive, Suzu accuses Naoto of lying and assumes it's a date. Naoto comes her with a hoe in her favorite color. Satsuki watches quietly from a distance, then vanishes. Ishihara says goodbye and accidentally blurts out, "I love you." She panics, covers it with I love dogs that bite, and dips out. Back home, Satsuki is missing, but Naoto finds her in the backyard. She jokes about his date and says he owes her a proper outing. He realizes she really is helping with the garden. It's starting to look amazing. Then she tells him to change his dirty clothes. Naoto tries to stop her and trips, falling right on top of her. Kutamayo's entrance. Her verdict? You're out. Pack your stuff. Atsuki apologizes and offers to explain the situation to Aunt Tamayo, but Naoto shrugs like, nah, that'll just make things worse, and resigns himself to moving out again. Suzu arrives and Naoto suggests they go for a walk. She groans, saying that sounds exhausting, but agrees as long as he carries her. Naoto nods, then turns to Satsuki. We're heading out now. Since they're going the same way, Satsuki tags along, though really, it's just her excuse to get Naoto talking. She asks if they're seriously moving again. Naoto says, yup, I knew it'd happen eventually, just didn't think it'd be this soon. He is glad they lasted longer this time. Satsuki asks why they're living with Tamayo, and Naoto snaps, why do you care? But she gets serious, reminding him they're not strangers she knows about his parents. Naoto softens. He leaves Suzu asleep on a bench and tells Satsuki about his parents' marriage and how neither side of the family was cool with it. No one really talks to them. Tamayo? She was just the next person willing to host them. Satsuki isn't convinced, replying, Tamayo doesn't strike me as the type who hates company. She even gave you space for a garden. Satsuki gives Naoto a packet of seeds and tells him that if they get kicked out, he can move in with her. She lives alone anyway. Later, Naoto sits beside his little sister. She wakes up and asks if he fought with Tamayo again. She begs him, no matter what happens, not to leave her. Later, Tamayo walks out of the bath, realizes her glasses are missing, and somehow, the cat's wearing them. She chases it wearing just a towel, and being as blind as Velma from Scooby-Doo, slams into the door, towel down. Chaos unleashed, she bolts down the hallway but crashes into Naoto. Mortified, she flees back to the bathroom, yelling for him to just go. Naoto doesn't leave. He tells her he's thought it through. Letting them use the garden means she wasn't planning to kick them out. Gardening's a long game. Like Chinese onions? 1 year. Asparagus? 3 years. He's got the stats. Tamayo tells him to stop overthinking. So he drops the stats and just pleads, please don't make us leave. You're the only one who's treated us like we're normal. Tamayo finally comes out, fully dressed, puts on her glasses and asks, was that girl your girlfriend? Naoto clarifies, childhood friend, just helping with the garden. No time for romance, I gotta take care of Suzu. Tamayo agrees to let them stay but warns him to focus on the garden's papayas, not any girl's papayas. Suzu asks Tamayo to help with planting. Tamayo just groans, that sounds way too boring. Naoto says their dad told them she used to have a garden, and Tamayo, now radiating anime rage, growls, don't bring up my brother, he's gross. Next morning, Suzu tells Satsuki they're not getting kicked out, and once the veggies are ready, Tamayo will get a share. That's the deal. Naoto's confused why they're going to school with Satsuki, no one invited her. A few days later, they see tiny sprouts. Naoto tells his sister they're radishes, and in 20 days, they'll be harvest ready, according to Wikipedia. Then things get serious. Naoto finds Suzu's math test with a fat 3 out of 10. He's clearly worried. Suzu says the exam was brutal and her Ave Maria, give me aim, prayer totally flopped. She suggests Naoto become her tutor and reminds him that since they moved, he hasn't helped her study at all. Naoto agrees but warns her that she needs to be more independent, he won't always be there. But Suzu hits him with, nah bro, you're mine till I die. At school, Yukari asks him the same, help me study for exams, but as always he has to reject her. I'm kinda dumb, he says, I'll just mess you up. Yukari insists and makes him promise to think about it. And Naoto wonders if it's one of those study sessions where people do everything but study, but decides she's just being friendly. Just then Takui pops in, guess you shut me up, looks like things are happening with Yukari. Naoto replies that he's not worthy. He'd love to go, but Suzu would never let him. Classes end. Rain starts pouring. Of course, Naoto is the only Japanese guy who forgot his umbrella. Luckily, Satsuki appears with a spare and offers it. Naoto takes it, then asks why she didn't drop by that morning. She says she did, but saw he was having a moment with his sister and didn't want to intrude, though she did trail them at a respectful 5-meter distance. He gets home and realizes Suzu hasn't arrived, probably stuck in the rain. He heads to the closet to grab a jacket but finds another test. You'd think she bombed it again, right? And nope, she aced it with an A. Turns out she just wanted tutoring to spend more time together. Suzu arrives. Naoto hides the test and asks how school was and if the rain caused any trouble. She says she was fine, she had an umbrella, but since one of her classmates didn't, she walked him home to keep him dry. That news clearly bothers Naoto. He goes out for a walk feeling weird. Truth is, he's scared. Suzu is his whole world, and if she stops needing him, he's got nothing. On his walk, he bumps into Satsuki soaked, so maybe that extra umbrella was a lie. He realizes she lied to protect him, just like Suzu lies about being more grown up than she is, just to avoid hurting him. Satsuki notices he's quiet. Did you fight with Suzu? She asks. He gives her his jacket to warm up and walks her home. She lives in a rough-looking building just 3 minutes away, basically his neighbor. She tells him he can go, but he hesitates, so she pulls him inside. Naoto says he should head back. Suzu's alone, but Satsuki replies, she's old enough. You should think about your feelings sometimes. Naoto snaps, don't talk like you know me. You don't understand our relationship. He leaves. Satsuki curls up on the floor and whispers, "I do understand. I've been with you the last 6 years." Honestly, with how creepy her apartment looks, she might be a ghost. Naoto returns home and admits that Suzu is his excuse to avoid opening up to others. But maybe it's time to let her grow up. He shows Suzu the candy he brought her. She says she thought he left because he didn't want to be with her. Naoto says, "Not today, but maybe Sunday. I'm planning to study with a friend. He promises it'll be quick and he'll bring her something to calm her fury." Suzu starts crying and reminds him he said he'd help her study. Naoto pulls out the test. "Looks like you don't need help." Suzu crumples it and throws it. "That was pure luck. I'm a mess. That's why I need you." Suddenly, Naoto starts to hear fuzz and collapses. Because in anime logic, if a Japanese person gets wet, they catch the plague and faint immediately. Always bring an umbrella. It's practically a life-saving device. The next day, Naoto stays in bed with a nasty cold. Suzu, ready to skip school and nurse him back to health, insists on staying. But Naoto reminds her she's already in 4th grade and should be able to walk to school by herself. He's finally nudging her to grow up a little. That afternoon, he wakes up only to find Satsuki lying right in front of him, totally chill. He asks what she's doing there and how she even got in. She says she snuck through the backyard. And speaking of backyards, she brought medicine. A very direct kind. Suppositories, extra strength. "My mom said these were top-tier cold meds," she explains. "That was 6 years ago." Naoto's shook, she remembered. He asks why she's not in school. Satsuki casually replies, "Morning classes only. It's past noon. I'm free now." Suddenly the doorbell rings. Naoto thinks it's Amazon. He tells Satsuki to bounce while he checks the door. Surprise, it's his crush, here to make him homemade soup so he can get better. Unfortunately, she catches him, sick, unshowered, and with another girl in his room. This is peak anime awkwardness. He lets her in, and she asks to use the kitchen to make her legendary healing soup. Naoto heads back to his room, only to discover Satsuki is still there. This time, she's ready to leave because she knows the boobs girl just arrived. She's clearly jealous, but before she goes, she jokingly offers to stay and see if he can handle both girls at once. At that exact moment, the soup arrives. With cat-like reflexes, Naoto dives into cover-up mode and shoves Satsuki under the blanket. Naoto's laid out sick in bed, with Satsuki hidden under the covers and his crush, Ichihara, sitting right beside him. Ichihara spots the suppositories and quips, "Hey, you don't take these like Tylenol." Naoto panics. "They're not mine. I mean, Satsuki brought them." Ichihara realizes Satsuki beat her to it. Naoto, trying to dodge the embarrassment, turns, accidentally ending up on top of Satsuki, who's totally enjoying the situation under the blanket. Ichihara checks his forehead, sees he's burning up. She's cradling his face. Satsuki is still wedged in place, and with all the sensory overload, Naoto short circuits and, well, let's just say he ruins his pajamas. Ichihara, unfazed, leaves her homemade recovery meal and heads out. Satsuki, beyond pleased, grins like she just won the round. Naoto deadpans, "Nice, now please go." Ichihara visits a temple, wondering if Naoto and Satsuki are really just childhood friends. Either way, she says a prayer for his recovery. Back home, Naoto changes into fresh PJs and tries the soup Ichihara made. It's awful. Medicinal level awful. Tastes like hospital lunch tray on hard mode. Still, he eats every bite. The power of love. Satsuki checks on the garden and sees Suzu spying. She calls her over. Suzu says she was leaving but was worried about the weeds. She starts pulling them out. Satsuki asks why she isn't visiting Naoto. Suzu replies he probably doesn't want her around, thinks she's grown up now and doesn't need him. Satsuki notices Suzu's ripping out basil and gasps, "Hold up, that's not a weed." Suzu insists it's taking over the garden and hurting the tomatoes. But Satsuki explains she planted basil on purpose. It shares nutrients with tomatoes and keeps pests away. They're meant to grow together. Suzu gets the metaphor loud and clear. Before leaving for Naoto, she tells Satsuki there's something she needs to talk about what happened 6 years ago. She was there. She saw everything. Back then, Naoto cried over the ruined garden. Suzu, somehow braver than him, confronted Satsuki but found her chatting with a mystery man who congratulated her and walked off with her. Suzu asked who he was. Satsuki pulled a classic mental jujitsu move and said there was no man. She claims she wrecked the garden herself after a fight with Naoto. A tantrum pure and simple. "You were little," she tells Suzu. "Your memory is fuzzy. Best if you never tell Naoto what you saw." Suzu returned to Naoto now alone, without his garden or his best friend. And yeah, as messed up as it sounds, Suzu kind of liked that. From then on, she had him all to herself. Next day, Suzu wakes up and brushes her hair on her own. Naoto's already feeling better. Anime colds only last like 24 hours. He praises her for getting ready solo. She says she wants to be the girl who isn't a burden, though she admits she's still clingy and spoiled. At school, Naoto spends the whole day trying to talk to Ichihara but chickens out. Everyone's drooling over her, wondering if she's just hot or super hot. Everyone except Takue, who grew up with her and knows her beauties, brought some creepy attention. After school, Naoto sees Ichihara get approached by a bunch of dudes. He wonders if she knows them, but she shuts them down hard and finally notices Naoto. He thanks her for the soup, he considers asking her out, but self-doubt kicks in. Luckily, Ichihara's got guts and she invites him to study together. They head to the library to prep for the exams. She helps him catch up on what he missed while sick. Naoto realizes she brought soup, she's helping him study. "She must be crazy about me," he says it out loud. Ichihara, unbothered, explains the class tutor asked her to help him integrate since he's new. But then she leans in and tells him the real reason. She actually likes how he's not like other guys. Ichihara tells Naoto she's liked him since they first met, but he's completely blank on that memory. So she helps him remember. It was the end of school. Ichihara had just finished PE and had to stick around for a student council meeting. With the school basically deserted, she figured she could change clothes right there. Shirt off, chest fully out, and boom, Naoto burst into the room like a rocket, but not for her. He was panicked because Suzu had vanished. He asks Ichihara if she's seen a little girl around, explaining that he was doing his exchange student registration when his sister pulled a stealth escape. Ichihara says nope, she hasn't seen anyone, and Naoto bolts out again. He never even glanced at the goods. Now that he remembers it, he's mortified. Ichihara tells him to forget it. She's embarrassed too, even though she was the one who brought it up. Classic. The key moment, he prioritized his sister over her melons. Respect. Naoto admits that he learned something from all this. He can't live just for Suzu anymore. Ichihara says she likes that. Most of the guys at school are obsessed with her body. Naoto's the only one who doesn't think that way. She vents a little. Tons of guys invite her out, and no matter how many times she says no, they don't get the message. That's why she likes Naoto, he's basically a monk. But then she realizes she's oversharing, and before it turns into a full-on confession, she takes off running. On her way out, she runs into Satsuki. For a second, it feels like she's about to throw hands. High school style, but nope, Satsuki is just there waiting for Naoto. Ichihara wonders if Naoto really does see her as just his childhood friend. But maybe she doesn't feel the same. Naoto heads out with Tokui for some ramen. He tells him what Ichihara said and guesses she likes him because he's pure. Like celibate samurai vibes. He decides to keep that monk energy, just to stay on her good side. Satsuki shows up and says maybe he doesn't need to try so hard. Tokui jokes, wait, are you dating the blonde now too? Naoto insists, just childhood friends. That night, Suzu's asleep next to him on the futon while he studies the stuff Ichihara taught him. But he can't stop thinking about those classmates saying Ichihara was on fire. And honestly, they weren't wrong. He tries to block out those thoughts, but the image of Ichihara's watermelon-level assets kicks in. His mouth literally waters. He tries to think pure thoughts, but his brain slides to Satsuki and that infamous pajama incident. That was spicy. Still, would have preferred that moment with Ichihara. He refocuses again, but this time he notices Suzu's awake. And yup, she just witnessed Big Bro mid-thirst spiral. Rough. Naoto makes up an excuse to go to the bathroom and begs her not to bother him. Speaking of bathrooms, Ichihara soaking in a hot bath, reflecting on Naoto and Satsuki. She realizes she better make a move soon, or Satsuki might snatch him up first. Because let's be real, Naoto's not gonna do anything unless someone takes charge. Next morning, Naoto looks wrecked. Bags under his eyes, zoned out. Satsuki notices and Suzu casually says he spent the whole night locked in the bathroom, mumbling, "I must not think those things." Satsuki reminds him it's exam day. He's so spaced out he accidentally hoses her down while watering the garden, instantly triggering those thoughts again. Suzu offers to let Satsuki dry off with her towel while Naoto retreats, again to the bathroom. At school, Satsuki teases him, couldn't sleep because you were thinking about someone's oversized melons. He doesn't deny it. Satsuki laughs and tells him she got soaked down to her underwear and had to toss them in his washing machine. Naoto apologizes, then panics. Wait, that means she's not wearing anything under her skirt? Satsuki shrugs. No worries, we're just sitting all day taking exams. Naoto stammers, but if someone catches a peek, it's gonna be a problem. Satsuki smirks. Oh, so you're thinking about what's under my skirt now, huh? Dirty little monk. Ichihara walking in. Naoto realizes if Ichihara catches him ogling Satsuki's skirt, his whole pure boy image is toast. They head to class, but Naoto can't stop glancing. From Ichihara's point of view, it looks like he's checking her out. Crisis mode. Ichihara takes initiative and invites Naoto to hang out after exams. He happily agrees. But right then, a gust of wind lifts Satsuki's skirt. Naoto dives to block the view and ends up in full pervert pose right behind her in front of everyone. He tries to explain to Ichihara, but she's done. She rushes off. Naoto blames Satsuki for ruining things. She lifts her skirt and reveals she was wearing undies, in fact, just trolling him. 1 week later, his relationship with Ichihara is ice cold. They barely speak. Toki notices Naoto all moody and suggests the ultimate fix. Dude, next chapter's gotta be the beach episode. The waifus approve. so don't miss next time where bikinis, sunshine, and Naoto's swimsuit malfunctions await. Summer vibes incoming, and yes, someone's definitely ending up soaked again. Everyone agrees to go to Tokui's beach party, but Naoto's got problems. Big ones. Ishihara's still acting weird around him, and worst of all, how's he supposed to tell his little sister he's ditching her for a weekend with 2 potential waifus? He realizes he can't, so he decides he'll just bring her along. But when he gets home, Suzu greets him with the most plot-convenient news ever. She's got a school field trip that weekend. Lazy writing alert. Naoto tells her that's perfect since he's heading to the beach, but Suzu likes his plan way more than hers and begs to come along. Naoto says if it's school related, she can't skip it. But now there's another problem. Who's gonna water the garden while they're both gone? He goes for the easiest option, ask his aunt. But let's be real, she'll probably tell him to go water himself. So maybe a neighbor? Suzu asks if he's gonna forget about her during those 2 days apart. Naoto says of course not, but deep down we all know he's craving a break. Suzu says she'll try not to feel lonely, but it'd help if he took her swimsuit shopping. This girl's a manipulation pro. Naoto agrees, and at school he wonders out loud how he's supposed to walk into the women's swimsuit section with a straight face. Satsuki overhears and offers to go with him. Naoto thinks, what's a beach episode without a swimsuit montage? So he says yes, but one waifu in a bikini isn't enough. We need a second. Thanks to plot magic, Ishihara overhears them. Tokui tells her she can tag along, but she thinks Naoto and Satsuki are a thing and doesn't want a third wheel. Tokui asks if Naoto actually said they're dating. She says no, but she's got eyes, and she's seen them getting handsy more than once. She's even considering skipping the beach trip. Tokui reminds her the last time she tried something with a guy was back in middle school, and it didn't end well. He says if something like that happened again, Naoto would understand. Whatever that means. But it works. She decides to go after them. Tokui just saved the beach episode and earns MVP of the day. Satsuki models her swimsuit for Naoto, and Suzu asks for his opinion too. He couldn't care less about Satsuki's outfit, but tells his sister to cover up more. Classic overprotective bro mode. Then he goes to find a swimsuit for himself. Meanwhile, Ishihara's creepily watching from behind the rack. A store clerk catches her and asks if she needs help. She says she wants something cute and modest, but then sees Satsuki trying to bait Naoto and decides to go bold. She tries on a bikini but doesn't feel confident. Still, she wants to impress. The clerk asks what kind of guy she's trying to seduce. Ishihara thinks of Satsuki and says, he likes crazy girls with long hair and no shame. So the clerk gives her hair extensions and the most daring bikini in stock. Naoto walks by, sees her and thinks, wow, some girls really have no chill. Luckily, he doesn't recognize her. Back in the fitting rooms, Suzu asks Naoto for help changing. He walks in and oops, wrong room. It's Satsuki. He sees everything, like at everything. Satsuki storms out, but turns out she's more embarrassed than mad. Naoto chases after her to apologize. Just then, Ishihara catches them talking again. This is more convenient than a soap opera. On the way back, Satsuki asks Naoto why he hasn't told anyone she's the villain. She's noticed that everyone treats her super nicely. Naoto says, you wrecked my garden, not everyone's. So it's between us. They talk more, but honestly I zoned out. The important part, she wants to make it up to him. At the station, Ichihara teleports in front of them like a boss and asks straight up, are you two dating? Naoto says no and tries to explain the hallway incident, but Ichihara's like, that's not what I'm talking about. I saw you kissing in the garden. Naoto can't deny it. They did kiss, big time, but Satsuki saves the day. I kiss everyone. It's just how I roll. Then she gives Naoto a cheek kiss to prove it. Case closed. They go grab drinks. Ichihara tells Naoto that cheek kisses don't count as a first kiss. And she's right, your grandma gives those. But before leaving, Naoto swears she's just his childhood friend, and the one he really wants to see in a swimsuit is her. Ichihara lights up like a Christmas tree. Mission accomplished. She's definitely going to the beach. Beach day arrives. Naoto gets hyped seeing Ichihara in casual clothes. It's like when elementary school kids get to wear jeans to the school party. Ichihara puts on her new bikini and it looks great. Not just Naoto thinks so, her classmates in the changing room agree. But they notice Satsuki's missing. She's kind of antisocial. Or maybe just not close with the other girls since she's from a different class. Ichihara thinks, if Satsuki keeps her distance, I might get Naoto all to myself. And honestly, she's not mad about it. Meanwhile, Naoto's experiencing something new. And no, it's not the excitement of seeing his friends in swimsuits, that's old news. It's his first time away from Suzu. He's determined to use this chance to get closer to Ichihara. The boys invite him to play, and that's also new. His first real guy thing. He tries to approach Ichihara, but she's attracting so many dudes in her bikini it's like a magnet. Satsuki's also surrounded, but she's less subtle. She nearly breaks one guy's wrist. Naoto pulls her away and tells her, next time don't go full shonen protagonist, just run and ask for help. She doesn't care and shows off her new swimsuit. When Naoto doesn't react, she gets bummed and asks why he doesn't just go hang with his friend. He wants to but doesn't want to leave her alone, so he suggests she go swim with the others. She says it's her first time at the ocean and she doesn't know how to swim. Naoto realizes he doesn't know much about her. Like what's she been doing these past 6 years? Satsuki says of course she wants to go in the water. Naoto's about to join her, but Tokui shows up with a shopping list and tells him Ichihara's waiting. He'll take care of Satsuki and introduce her to the other girls, so she's not left out. Naoto promises to swim with her later and heads off with the main waifu. Both are nervous, alone and in swimsuits. They check Tokui's list, and it just says, take her on a walk. That's it. Tokui just secured his MVP status for the episode, and maybe the whole anime. Meanwhile, Tokui sits with Satsuki, who's eating a popsicle that's, let's just say, very suggestive. They watch the girls play on the beach. He asks if she wants to join them. She says she doesn't fit in with girl groups. Toki says he doesn't either, then asks if she likes Naoto. If she does, he's sorry for pulling her out of the game. She says it's fine, she's not looking for a relationship. So Tokui gets her blessing to keep matchmaking. While the lovebirds head off to find food, Ichihara suggests getting ice cream. For some reason, Naoto gets weirdly excited. Maybe it's a Japanese thing. Ice cream equals romance, but Ichihara says they should grab a real lunch first, then share a shaved ice after. That idea? Instant serotonin boost. They hit up a grill stand and the chef goes full anime NPC. Serves them way too much food. Honestly, Ichihara's bikini already paid for itself. After lunch, they finally get their ice cream. As they walk, everyone stares at Ichihara. Like everyone. They can't believe someone that gorgeous is hanging out with a guy as painfully average as Naoto. Then two buff dudes show up and hit on her. They invite her to go for a walk, which is anime code for we're about to be jerks. Naoto doesn't have the guts to tell them off. He just tries to ignore them while they drop misogynistic one-liners like it's their job. Ichihara starts feeling uncomfortable. Naoto doesn't confront them. He just grabs her hand and walks away. Not heroic, but effective. On the way back to the beach, Naoto finally grows a pair and tells her she looks amazing in her swimsuit. He admits he can't stop staring at her. Melons. Ichihara smiles and says she picked that swimsuit just for him. Cue romantic anime music, everything's going great, until a mysterious guy shows up. He recognizes Ichihara, his name Yukari, and he's got that pretty boy with trauma energy. He greets her casually, but Ichihara gets hit with a full Vietnam flashback. Luckily, one of Yukari's friends calls him away. Turns out Yukari was her middle school crush. When she confessed, he hit her with the classic, I'm not like other guys. You know where this is going. They don't say it, but we all feel it. Ichihara says she's going back to the hotel to rest, but Naoto's left standing there like, what just happened? Meanwhile, Tokui is chilling with Satsuki, waiting for them to return. He overhears some girls talking about seeing Yukari. Tokui instantly knows, we've got a problem. Naoto goes around asking the other girls about the mysterious guy who left Ichihara totally speechless. They tell him he's loaded, his dad runs a hospital, he's stupidly hot, and get this, he once bumped into Leonardo DiCaprio on a plane and Leo told him he was beautiful. But the most insane part? He was student council president until graduation. Okay, I know that sounds lame to us, but in Japan, that's basically being the supreme leader of Teen Nation. Naoto knows all he's got is a tiny veggie patch in his aunt's backyard, and that's not exactly Giga Chat material. He sulks back to the hotel, feeling like a side character in his own rom-com. That's when Fujioka shows up. He's here looking for Ichihara. He hands out some sweets like he's trying to win best boy, then heads to the front desk to ask about his girl. Naoto's now officially depressed. That dude's got main character energy and a six-pack of plot armor. Just then, Satsuki shows up and Naoto remembers he promised to go swimming with her. He apologizes, saying it totally slipped his mind. She shrugs it off and lets him squeeze her oppas to cheer him up. Emotional support oppai. Very effective. Fujioka finds Ichihara and they go for a walk in the hotel's indoor park. Seriously, what kind of bougie hotel is this? He tells her he was surprised to see her with another guy and didn't think she'd move on so fast. Ichihara says she's glad to see him, clearly gearing up to send him packing. But he cuts her off and goes full anime confession mode. Fate brought us back together. I'm ready to pick up where we left off. He invites her to dinner at 7 and tells her to wear something cute. They'll talk about their future, like it's a dating sim route unlock. After he leaves, Satsuki pops up to deliver 2 messages from Naoto. First, he wants to invite her to dinner. Second, not really a message, more like gossip. He's worried about her ex. Naoto walks by when some dudes ask if he's dating Satsuki. He says she's just a childhood friend. The guys go, cool, then I'm gonna ask her out. She looks like she's down for anything. Naoto fires back, that's not true! She's a respectable woman. Sure, she let me squeeze her oppas when I was sad, but that doesn't make her easy. Ichihara overhears and tells Satsuki to let Naoto know she's not coming to dinner. Satsuki asks if she's going out with her ex. Instead, Ichihara says she doesn't have a boyfriend, never has. That includes him. Then she randomly takes off running like Cindy from Scary Movie. Cue flashback, Ichihara in middle school, talking to Fujioka. He asks her out. She says no because she's just a baby and doesn't know anything about love. Then she runs off. Again, full Scary Movie sprint. Satsuki tells the girls Ichihara's not going to dinner with Naoto. They freak out, thinking she's getting back with Fujioka. Satsuki spills the tea from the flashback. They never dated, but the girls don't buy it. Everyone knows they were inseparable. Ichihara shows up to the dinner with Fujioka just to say she's not staying. She came to say what she couldn't say back then. Fujioka's like, eat up, it's on me. Flashback time again. Fujioka kept chasing her in front of the gossip trio, so now we know why everyone thought they were a couple. That dude pulled the classic peer pressure romance move. He clung to her like a cursed spirit until graduation was near. Then he backed off, promising he'd come back for her. And he did, that's why he invited her out. But Ichihara hits him with the, sorry, I've got someone else now, and I actually like this one. Fujioka doesn't take the L quietly. He throws a low blow. So you only have eyes for him. Ichihara bolts again. Yep, scary movie sprint round 3. Naoto and Satsuki are waiting in the lobby like two background NPCs hoping the plot will come back. Then Fujioka shows up looking for Ichihara. He's holding a note that says, I can't be with you. I'm leaving alone. Instant panic. The trio starts brainstorming how to find her, but their brains are running on filler episode logic. No ideas. Enter the true MVP, Toki God, best character, no contest. He casually solves the whole situation with a genius level plan. Calls her on the phone. She answers like nothing happened. Oops, wrong turn, I'll be there soon. She says she needs time to think and asks Fujioka to leave. She'll call him in a few days. Fujioka agrees. Kinda. But since he's built like a persistent side quest, he says he'll come see her tomorrow anyway. Tokui, being the giga chat he is, not only finds Ichihara, he also tells Naoto the truth. That whole note thing, I made it up. She's nearby, go find her. And while you're at it, grow a pair and tell her how you feel. Naoto bolts off like he's in a shonen climax. He calls her using Tokui's phone. She picks up and says she just needed time to think. Naoto says she can tell him anything. She's like, nah. But then they bump into each other on the street. No more dodging, he confesses. She's still not convinced Satsuki is just a friend. Classic anime misunderstanding. She tries to run again, but karma strikes. Her heel breaks. No escape now? Naoto offers to carry her back to the hotel. She's embarrassed, especially after all the snacks she inhaled earlier. But Naoto's living his best life. Her opai are pressed against his back and he's practically glowing. He asks if she's worried about Fujioka. She asks him to put her down. She confesses she never dated Fujioka and has always been too scared to speak her truth. She's tired of being pressured and wants to finally say what she feels. Even tell the person she likes how she really feels. Naoto's like, oh cool, go for it. Ichihara says she admires him for defending Satsuki even when people were judging him. That kind of courage is something she envies, so she's ready to confess. Right here, right now. But Fujioka crashes the scene like a bad DLC. He brought back up a whole squad of students and even a mariachi band. He's going full social pressure boss battle. He asks her to come with him, but she's not alone. Naoto steps up and says it was all a misunderstanding. He tells everyone Ichihara never dated Fujioka and that the guy gaslit the entire school into thinking they were a couple. Fujioka tries to flip the script. Tell them it's not true. We had a beautiful long relationship. We're meant to be. But Ichihara's had her character arc. She straightens her skirt and drops the truth bomb. I don't even know you like that. I never liked you. You give me the ick. Stop chasing me. Oof. Public humiliation unlocked. Fujioka doesn't quit. He says she's just confused and they can talk tomorrow. Ichihara hits him with the no means no. He tries one last guilt trip. No one else will ever put up with you. If you let me go, you're throwing away your only shot at happiness. Ichihara's done. She tells him to go screw himself. Fujioka snaps, grabs her arm. The nice guy mask is off. He goes full toxic masculinity. You'll shut up and do what I say. You'll restore the harmony of our home while I provide then BAM! Satsuki drop kicks him in the spine. No one saw that coming. She grabs the phone and tells him she's reporting him for being a creep. Fujioka says he'll report her for surprise drop kicks, but that's for later. For now, he accepts defeat and walks off. But not before throwing one last loser line. You've disappointed me. You're not the high-value woman I thought you were. Bro really thought he was the protagonist. Everyone's back at the hotel. The gossip trio apologizes to Ichihara for spreading rumors and for helping carry that cringe confession poster Fujioka used. Emotional damage acknowledged. Tokui says he's glad things kinda worked out, but he's still worried the clown might come back. Ichihara, now fully leveled up with her character development, says she's not worried. She's ready to shut him down solo. Tokui believes in her. Then he asks if anything happened between her and Naoto, but Naoto chickened out. No confession. Emotional support opai wasted. Just then Tokui gets a call. Satsuki is holding the phone and sees the contact name. She hands it over, but Tokui looks shook. It's clearly something no one else was supposed to see. He asks if she saw it. She says yeah, but it's none of her business, and honestly she doesn't care. Satsuki heads off to grab a drink. Ichihara walks over to thank her for the help. Satsuki says she didn't do it for her. She did it for Naoto. Ichihara says she's made up her mind. She wants Naoto all to herself, and once they're back from the trip, she's gonna confess. Satsuki hits her with a cool story bro, and Ichihara bolts again. Scary movie Cindy Sprint, take 5. This girl has never exited a scene like a normal person. Satsuki sits down with her drink, and Naoto shows up with 2 onigiris. 1 plum, 1 seaweed. She's not hungry, so Naoto gives her the seaweed one. They sit and eat. She tells him she's glad things are going well with Miss Opai Deluxe. He insists she's out of his league and asks if Satsuki's into Tokui God. Satsuki says the only one she cares about is him. Then she says she hates how nice he is for no reason, even after the chaos she caused when they were kids. She eyes the plum onigiri and asks for a bite. Instead, she kisses him again. Then she warns him, if you keep being this sweet to me, you might regret it. Again, cue dramatic zoom, cue insert song, cue fandom meltdown. Naoto's still stuck replaying what Satsuki said right before she planted that kiss. Yeah, that kiss. And now the day it happened shall forever be known as H Day. H for horticulture, horror, and holy crap. Anyway, before H Day, Satsuki had come over to his place. They ended up watching a soap opera because when you're a kid, you just vibe with whatever's on TV. Or maybe not because Naoto suddenly suggests they go out for a walk. They wander all over town and Satsuki's already over it. She's like, dude, slow down. My legs are short, not turbocharged. Naoto asks if she wants to head back and she's like, nah, just chill the pace. Don't be a speed demon. Naoto grabs her hand and decides to take her to a secret spot only they know. Except, plot twist, every secret place nearby is already someone else's hangout. So yeah, mission failed. It gets dark and it's time to head home. Naoto's family sends Satsuki off alone, in the middle of the night like it's totally normal. Naoto says he hopes to see her tomorrow and she gives him a look that says, your garden's about to get wrecked, boy. Just then, Suzu returns from her school trip and we get the most underwhelming reunion in anime history. They flop down like lazy cats and Suzu's like, dude, your garden needs a serious glow up. Naoto wonders if Satsuki will show up to help like she always does. Spoiler, she won't. Next morning, Ichihara's in front of her mirror rehearsing her confession to Naoto. She made a vow over summer break. She's gonna shoot her shot. She stares herself down and goes, Naoto, you're a total snack. I'm into you. Wanna be my guy? Yep. She's quoting cheesy romance lines. It's her pickup strategy. Meanwhile, Naoto heads to Satsuki's place and asks why she ghosted the garden squad. He tells her she should keep her promises. Satsuki's like, I thought you came to yell at me for kissing you. Didn't feel anything down there? He blushes so hard he could power a toaster. Since direct confrontation isn't working, she flips the script and goes full reverse psychology. You hate me, don't you? Naoto says that's not true. He wasn't even mad about the garden massacre. What really hurt was her vanishing act afterward. She ghosted him before ghosting was even a thing. Satsuki gets bold and asks if he freaked out this morning thinking she ditched again. Naoto says nope and that he doesn't like her anymore. Satsuki's done. She's like, fine. Screw you, cut ties, I'm out. And she storms off. While Suzu watches from the shadows like a drama-loving ninja and tells her brother they're gonna have a little chat after school. Naoto heads to class and runs into Ichihara who asks to talk. They find a quiet spot and she starts by thanking him for helping her deal with Mr. Intense. She's building up the courage to confess when, bam, 3 random dudes show up trying to shoot their shot at Ichihara. Total mood kill. Turns out ever since the school trip, word got out. She's single, available, and apparently radiating please flirt with me energy. So yeah, she's gonna be swarmed by hormonal freshmen for a while. Naoto realizes she went on that trip hoping to get closer to him, and it kinda worked, but he's never stopped to ask himself what kind of relationship he actually wants with her. These anime boys really do invent their own problems, huh? Meanwhile, Satsuki is laying under a tree, deep in her feels. But then, boom, the chat of chads arrives. That's right, Tokui shows up to push the plot forward like a true MVP. He asks what's wrong and she says that sometimes when she's with Naoto, she can't help but get her hopes up. But she knows that if she tries anything, it'll all go to hell. Tokui hits her with the classic anime therapist line. So what do you want? She answers, but it's apparently so deep, so mysterious, so next level that we don't get to hear it. She says it's something neither Naoto nor Tokui would understand. Ooh, cryptic. But I'll bet you 100 yen it's gonna be something dumb. Naoto sees Satsuki and Tokui arriving at school together and instantly gets moody. Drama queen alert. Meanwhile, Ichihara, who's literally a cinnamon roll, shows up ready to flirt and Naoto just ignores her. Bruh. After class, Ichihara gears up for another shot at confessing. She asks Naoto to walk home together, but then the school speakers announce reminder pool cleaning duty. So Ichihara heads to the locker room to change. She starts undressing and Naoto walks in like, why are you in the boys' locker room? Then he sees some dudes coming in and panics, so he locks the door and hides with her. Ichihara's like, I wanted to talk in private, but not this private. The guys try to open the door but Naoto holds it shut so they think it's jammed. It works, they leave. Ichihara can't believe she messed up the locker room, but since they're alone and she's mid-change, she figures it's a good time to shoot her shot. She starts with, it's kinda ironic, right? This is how we first met, me changing clothes, and ever since then I've wanted to tell you, and then anime law kicks in. Naoto trips onto her. And of course he lands in the classic, oops, I'm on top of the waifu pose. Bonus points, accidental oppai grab. But Ichihara doesn't freak out. She powers through and confesses, I like you. Then she runs off like Cindy sprinting into the sunset. Girl doesn't know how to walk away normally. After school, Naoto's still processing everything when he sees Ichihara waiting at the gate. Is she gonna throw hands? Nah, this isn't your high school. It's anime Japan. No one throws hands. Naoto tries to play it cool, but Ichihara's like, don't play dumb, just tell me if you wanna go out with me. Naoto asks if she really meant it, that she likes him, and she's like, duh bro, no cap. She says he doesn't have to answer right away. He can think about it. Then she Cindy sprints again, straight into a wall. Is this wall about to dethrone Tokui as MVP of the episode? Naoto can't believe the girl he likes just confessed. Now he has to come up with a reason to stall the plot, so it doesn't resolve too fast. Back home, Suzu's waiting to have that little chat. She asks if anything happened at school and if he made up with Satsuki. Naoto says nope. She told him she never wants to see him again. Suzu still believes they can patch things up. So the next day, she sends Naoto with a bag of cherry tomatoes as a peace offering. He goes to Satsuki's house, and since no one answers, he just walks in like zero hesitation. Main character privilege. The place is a mess, but still better than any generic prefab house. It's dark, the furniture's trashed, and there's barely anything there. Naoto feels sad. It's clear Satsuki lives a lonely life. Naoto finds a calendar at Satsuki's place. Every single day is marked as work, but one specific day has a detailed note, exact time, exact location, next to a train station. No other day has that kind of info. Suspiciously convenient, almost too convenient. Plot device alert. Naoto rushes over and finds her in a super revealing uniform, handing out flyers next to a giant mascot suit. She sees him and walks over with a face that screams, "You're not on my favorites list." She pulls him aside, away from the cameras, and reminds him, "I told you I never wanted to see you again in my crusty cursed life." She says she won't stop being mad if he keeps bugging her. But then her boss shows up and says the person inside the mascot suit passed out. 12 hours of work, no water breaks. Yikes. He looks at Naoto and goes, "Hey, if you hop in the suit for the rest of the day, I'll toss you some cash." Naoto's like, "Sure, why not?" So he jumps in the mascot suit and immediately gets mobbed by hyper kids who shove him into Satsuki. Cue anime rule number 1, accidental waifu collision. Then it's photo ops galore. Naoto's handing out balloons, helping lost grandmas, posing like a theme park employee who's dead inside but smiling anyway. Suddenly, two tough guys, they're tough because they wear caps under their hoodies, ultimate rebel fashion, roll up and try to hit on Satsuki. Naoto steps in like a true shonen hero. They beat him up a little, get bored, and leave. After a long day, Naoto finishes his unexpected shift. Not what he signed up for, but he's kinda proud. Satsuki asks how he even knew where she worked. He says he saw it on her calendar, the one with the oddly specific note. That plot convenience still bugs me. Satsuki asks what gave him the right to enter her house. He says the doorbell didn't work, no one answered, and the door was broken. She's like, even if it's busted, that's still trespassing. And honestly, she's right. She says she's gonna file a report. Naoto tells her she should fix the door. Her family might worry. She replies, "I don't have a family." And Naoto says, "Well, I worry. You're my childhood friend, and in Japan, that means everything." Satsuki remembers that's true and goes, "Fine, let's be childhood friends forever. That way I can stay close without forcing a relationship." Boom. Problem solved. I swear these characters love creating drama out of thin air. Naoto walks her home and Satsuki asks if Ichihara already confessed. Naoto says yep, but now he doesn't know what to say. Satsuki tells him, "You're the protagonist. You'll make the right call." So the next day, Naoto goes to see Ichihara and says, "Oh, what's that? You thought I'd tell you? Nah, you'll have to wait for the next episode." Naoto calls Ichihara over to give her his answer. And the answer is, nope. That's right, folks. He turned her down. He says something like he's not ready to give her the love she deserves or some dramatic anime nonsense. He asks her to wait for him, but since she's basically top-tier waifu material, he wouldn't blame her if she found someone else. Ichihara hits back with a solid nope. She's a girl who doesn't miss. When she sets her sights on someone, she goes full sniper mode. She tells him she only wants him and makes him an offer he can't refuse. They'll date over the summer and see how it goes. If it doesn't work out, they break up. Simple as that. Naoto hesitates, saying it feels disrespectful or some other honor code BS. Ichihara tells him to stop being a wimp and that if they don't at least try, they'll regret it forever. So that's how it ends up. Naoto goes to spill the tea to Tokui, the certified Giga Chad, and Tokui is like, "Bro, why didn't you say yes, you're totally into her?" Naoto says that's exactly why. He doesn't want to let her down. But let's be real, he's just stalling to stretch this anime out. Naoto also says he needs to start planning his future, like what he'll do after graduation. He's still got a year left, but he's a single dad, so he's gotta figure out where he and his kid are gonna live. His plan? Finish high school, get a job, save up some cash, and find a place where it's just the two of them. He's thinking of getting a part-time gig to start saving, and hey, maybe that'll give him the confidence to date Ichihara. I mean, who doesn't feel like a total stud when they've got their own place to bring their girlfriend? Tokui tells him if he needs help finding a job or a girlfriend, he's got him covered. That's what Giga chats are for. Just then, Satsuki shows up, having overheard everything. Naoto's surprised, but honestly, if he didn't want her to hear, maybe don't have deep life talks in the restaurant where she works. Still, Satsuki takes it well and congratulates him for scoring the girl with the big old melons. Tokui compliments her uniform, and Satsuki hits back with, "This ain't a free show. If you're not ordering, you better bounce." Naoto says he's actually there to apply for a job. He's got an in with the manager and a coworker to vouch for him. But Satsuki drops the bomb. "Well, hate to break it to ya, but I'm quitting today. Got a better gig? Take care, dude." Interview time rolls around and Naoto heads upstairs. He meets the manager who tells him to wait. They're interviewing someone else to replace Satsuki. So Naoto chills in the waiting area and spots another waifu. Yep, another one. This time it's a pink-haired loli. He doesn't recognize her uniform, but something about her feels familiar, though he can't place it. And what's the best way to figure out if you know someone? Obviously get super close to their face, like uncomfortably close, like I can count your nose pores close. The poor girl wakes up and sees this dude's face inches from hers and freaks out. Rightfully so, she accuses him of trying to kiss her while she was asleep, and honestly, same girl. I'd be screaming too. Naoto swears he's innocent, and just then, the manager walks in. The girl tells the manager that this creep tried to kiss her. Naoto says he just thought he knew her, which, yeah, still sounds sketchy. The manager says they'll do separate interviews and takes Naoto to another room. Naoto keeps insisting he didn't do anything, but come on, who's the manager gonna believe? The girl who felt harassed or the dude with the worst excuse ever? The girl's left alone and starts snooping through the manager's papers. Classic anime move, and that's how she finds out the name of that creep who got all up in her face. Meanwhile, Naoto finishes his interview and yeah, it was a total disaster. No way they're hiring him. On his way home, he bumps into Ichihara. She asked Tokui God for intel and tracked him down. Now that's dedication, not like those flaky girls who ghost you after one text. Naoto apologizes and swears he'll get a phone once he lands a job. Ichihara asks if he wants to hang out tomorrow morning, since next week's packed with exams, and we all know how hardcore Japanese students get about those. Naoto agrees and boom, their first official date is set. The others didn't count, but plot twist! Naoto brings a chaperone, his little sister Suzu, and she's not thrilled that her brother invited another girl. Naoto apologizes to Ichihara and promises he'll grow a spine and tell Suzu they're dating. Ichihara doesn't get mad. Instead, she goes full charm mode to win over the future sister-in-law. She's sweet, polite, and basically radiating wholesome anime girlfriend energy. Suzu starts warming up to her. Meanwhile, Tokui and Satsuki are watching from a bridge. Satsuki's in full spy mode. Clearly not her first stakeout. Tokui's just vibing. He's Tokui God, he does what he wants. The trio heads into a zoo and Suzu gets hyped over pigeons. She's so excited she forgets she was mad about the third wheel situation. Tokui and Satsuki sneak behind them. Well, Satsuki sneaks, Tokui's just tagging along. Turns out it's Satsuki's first time at a zoo, and she's terrified of animals. Tokui tells her if she wants to impress guys, she should act shy and say animals are kawaii, not scream like she's in a horror movie. The group checks out the goats, and Ichihara tells Naoto she's having a blast. It's been ages since she went to the zoo. Suzu rolls up and says she's hungry. Naoto agrees and says they'll find something to eat, but Ichihara's already got it covered. She packed homemade lunches for everyone. They lay out a blanket on the grass and open the food, and it actually looks amazing. But Naoto's still cautious. Flashback to when she made him porridge while he was sick. It was tragic. Suzu doesn't know that story, so she dives in without fear. And surprise, it's delicious! Turns out Ichihara didn't cook alone. Her mom helped. So yeah, mom saved the date. Naoto says he'll cook next time, and Suzu's face is like, wait, next time? Meanwhile, Tokui and Satsuki are still lurking behind the bush. Tokui admits that homemade lunch on a first date is a pro move. Speaking of lunch, he asks Satsuki if they're gonna eat anything. She tells him to go eat by himself. Oof, someone's cranky. Tokui says he's bored and asks how much longer she plans to stalk them. Satsuki admits she doesn't even know why she's doing it. She just is. Tokui offers her a piece of gum. She tells him to buzz off again. Man, she's really testing my patience. Suzu falls asleep and Naoto tells Ichihara she must be tired. It's their first outing since they moved. Ichihara starts picking up the lunch stuff and Naoto watches her like, dang, she's a trad wife goddess. High value woman alert. And of course he starts thinking he doesn't deserve her. But no, my dude, level up and earn it. So he tells Ichihara he's gonna get serious about finding a job so he can take her out properly. She asks if he's planning to work at the Chinese restaurant and Naoto's like, yeah, huh? Probably not. HR already has a complaint against me, and I haven't even been hired yet. Ichihara tells him she doesn't care where they go, and she's totally cool with him bringing his kid along. All she wants is to be with him. They finally work up the courage to hold hands, but they do it super slowly, like slow motion anime level slow. And of course, Suzu picks that exact moment to wake up and ask them to take her to the bathroom. On the way back, Suzu runs into Satsuki and a guy she doesn't know. Tokui introduces himself, and just then Naoto shows up, ready to throw hands with whoever's talking to his sister outside a public restroom. But turns out, it's just his friends, which honestly is still kinda sketchy. Tokui apologizes for spying and says he was just curious. Satsuki's like, same. Naoto forgives Tokui because he's Tokui god obviously, but he scolds Satsuki for being a toxic stalker. Satsuki apologizes to Ichihara for crashing the date and tells Tokui to buy her a soda. Then, as a peace offering, she takes Suzu to get ice cream, so Naoto and Ichihara can have some alone time. On the way, Suzu casually drops, "Hey, those two totally have a thing going on, right?" Meanwhile, Naoto apologizes to Ichihara again, because apparently that's his default way to start a conversation. Ichihara wants to ask him again what's up with Satsuki, but she holds back to avoid drama. Naoto sees other couples holding hands and wants to do it too, but he's too shy. Oh, what a dork. Ichihara's got more guts than him and grabs his finger. That gives Naoto the confidence boost he needed, and he finally holds her hand properly. And let's be real, for Japanese teens, that's basically second base. Naoto's so hyped he can't sleep that night. He's ready to go all in this summer. If holding hands felt that good, imagine what's next. Ichihara's just as excited. She stares at her hand like, I'm never washing this again. But deep down, she feels a little second place. I mean, Naoto kissed Satsuki's hand, and all she got was a long handshake. Time to step up and take the lead. Next day after school, Naoto goes looking for Ichihara to walk her home, but she's already gone. Some classmates ask if he's dating her, and yeah, telling the truth would get him roasted. Meanwhile, Ichihara's at the pharmacy buying. Guess what? Starts with a C, ends with DOMS. Not even kidding, girl's not playing around. Elsewhere, the pink-haired waifu from the interview is waiting at the school gate. Some guys try to flirt with her, but she shuts them down and says, "Go find Naoto and tell him his new waifu Makina is here, because forget love triangles, we're going full love square now." Hey, if you made it this far into the video, don't forget to type the word exquisite in the comments. Thanks a million and see you in the next video.